Hare Krishna, all devotees. Welcome all of you for the Saturday evening Bhagavad Gita discussion. We completed the second part of the fourth chapter, where Lord Krishna, uh, last week we discussed about how to understand the accurate meaning of spirituality and how to understand the Lord's relationship with all of us. And we discussed ye yata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham, how Lord Krishna is an equal opportunity employer. He doesn't discriminate people. He actually equally respects everyone, and he gives equal opportunity to each and every individual to connect with him. The bifurcation that is made in the society is based upon the nature of work, that's all. Apart from that, why that bifurcation has been made? So that people are able to use their skills, talents and facilities based upon their nature that is being inherited because of their karma, as well as the parental ecosystem in which they are born, so that they can utilize this to the maximum ability of them in the service of Krishna. Apart from that, there is absolutely no discrimination in the society. The discrimination in the society has been done for the selfish interests of the people. The leaders of today have created this discrimination for their own selfish interests. So we discussed this elaborately last week. And Krishna, after telling this, the Chaturvarna, Maya Srishtam, Gunakarma Vibhagasaha, that this Chaturvarnam, the four Varnas, he created based upon Guna and Karma, the nature and the activities. And he says he himself is not part of this Chaturvarna. And we discussed elaborately on that as well. So, what was the example I gave? I gave the example of a spider. If a creator, the spider, creates the web, the spider doesn't create the web to catch itself, right? The spider is completely independent of the web itself. It can freely move along the web. It has created this web for its own benefit. Similarly, Lord Krishna created this material world, and this is a free entrance to everyone who can just come into this material world, because this material world is the least attractive place that Lord Krishna has created in the entire cosmos. Why will he too much attached to this earthly planet? There are planets which are million times opulent than our earth planet, millions and billions of times opulent. So there is no reason for Lord, who is the creation of this entire cosmos, the creation, whatever the creation existing in this entire space that belongs to him, why will he be attached to the results of this earthly planet? Why will he bothered about it? Will a Bill Gates, when he comes to India, if he gives 1 lakh rupees to open a chai wala shop near Hubli, will he go back and start asking what is the profit and loss? Will he be bothered? He has done his duty, he has given it, and he has come back. He will not be bothered about what is the profit. That will be the least attractive for him. What a chai wala restaurant can give a benefit to him. He is having billions of dollars with him. Similarly, Lord Krishna has created billions of Bill Gates like this. Why will he bother about small earthly planet which is a chai wala shop for him? He will not be bothered. It's the least attractive place. In that sense, why will he be conditioned to the rules and regulations of this planet? This is for our own benefit. If the chai wala shop owner that has been gifted by Bill Gates, if he doesn't work hard to take care of that restaurant, who is the loser? The owner will be the loser, not Bill Gates. He is not going to lose his sleep over the restaurant making loss. He will not lose his sleep. So we need to understand this. So Creator has done it out of compassion for all of us, so that we can uplift ourselves in our human journey. That is very, very, very important for us to understand. How can we reform ourselves? How can we uplift ourselves in this journey so that I can understand what is the goal of human life? That is very important. That is all about religion. That is all about spirituality. This is nothing to do with Hindu, Muslim, Christian, nothing to do with all. These are all man-made creations. Sanatana Dharma is the age-old, time-tested tradition which has been there from time immemorial. The creation has created and destroyed and created and destroyed. It has gone through the cycles of destructions and creations. Every time there is a creation has happened, the Sanatana Dharma has come back again. In this cycle of life, we need to understand what is the accurate meaning of my own human life so that I can pass through this. That is why Bhagavad Gita has been spoken. Bhagavad Gita is spoken for benefit for all of us, because we are living in this world which is the world of uncertainty. Uncertainty is due to our own decisions, our own, we have only created this kind of ecosystem because of our own karmic reactions. The world doesn't need anyone externally to come and destroy. We ourselves, because of our own imperfections, impurities of heart, we will only fight amongst each other to kill ourselves. So when Lord says that He appears again and again and again in this world to establish Dharma and protect devotees, we need to understand, to actually establish Dharma, to kill the demons who are actually against the religious principle. He doesn't need to come. He can use the third agencies. He is so powerful that he can send his own agencies to do that. But he does that out of compassion so that he can attract devotees back to the spiritual world. So it's very, very important for us to understand this concept that Lord Krishna is not an enlightened person. Lord Krishna is not a pure soul. These definitions applies to us. We become enlightened, we become, the remembrance and forgetfulness is the nature of the conditioned soul. Lord Krishna is eternally enlightened. He doesn't need to come to this world to become enlightened. He doesn't need to go to the Govardhan hill and stand top of the hill and remember, oh, I am God. That is not required. He is always God. So it is a benefit for us to understand this purity or duality applies to all of us. We sometimes become enlightened, we sometimes forget everything. This doesn't even apply to Lord Krishna. So, people have myths around them to think that Lord Krishna is a Punya Purusha. There is nothing like Punya or Papa for Krishna. He is not binded by Punya or Papa. He is not binded by any of this. So, Lord Krishna is transcendental, eternally transcendental. We are the marginal potencies. We can either jump into either side, either to the spiritual world or either to the material world. But Lord Krishna doesn't belong to either of this. He is situated in the spiritual world. He is the controller of both material and the spiritual world. Choices bind us. Lord Krishna binds the choices. He is the creator of the choices. So we need to understand this entire concept of Krishna to understand Bhagavad Gita in a proper context. Otherwise, we will create our own Gita without even opening the book of Gita. Then we will only concoct and we will only think that, I am also eligible to create Gita. Gita, even if you create, it will be destroyed within few seconds. No one will hear about your Gita. We are all conditioned. Whatever we do, it's futile. We need to understand who are we, who is Krishna. When we really understand the relationship of us with Krishna and the capability of us with respect to Krishna, then only we will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita with a proper perspective. So we need to actually come out of all the misconceptions we have in our life. Lord Krishna is eternally transcendental. He is eternally enlightened. There is nothing called enlightenment for Krishna. What is enlightenment for Krishna? For example, a student is reading 12th syllabus. She becomes educated in 12th. She passes 12th. She becomes educated in electrical engineering, computer engineering, electronics engineering, civil engineering, whatever it is. She reads through it. Krishna doesn't need all these things. He is the creator of all this. Though it is only the man-mind. Engineering he is the ultimate engineer. What we are doing is an insignificant discovery. So we cannot say Krishna becomes educated. He does it so that he establishes the example. He creates an example for everyone. Yad yad acharati shreshtaha. But there is nothing called Krishna becomes educated. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matas prutir gnanam apohanam cha. From Krishna we get the remembrance. From Krishna gnanam apohanam cha. From Krishna we get the education, remembrance and the knowledge to even remember him, think about him. Vedeshcha sarvair ahameva vaidyo. The entire knowledge about creation is given by Krishna. Vedanta krit veda videha chaham. If you go through this entire scriptures of knowledge, only one person you will always think about is Krishna. That is what Krishna consciousness is about. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. If we really dwell deep into the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita. So we are going to the third part of the fourth chapter, removing reactions, clearing karmic bank balance. So we are going to understand the theory of karma in a most, with a clarity and advanced concept of karma. If you can attentively hear today's discussion, I can guarantee you all your misconceptions about karma will be washed away. Not because I am speaking, because Bhagavad Gita is speaking. Yeah? So the 16th verse of 4th chapter. Kim karma kim akarmeti khavayopi atra mohitah tatte karma pravakshami yajnatva mokshase shubhat. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action, what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. Yajnatva moksha se ashubhat. This line, Lord Krishna keeps speaking about this line in many verses of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is meant to Yajnatva moksha se ashubhat. It is meant to uplift us from all inauspiciousness. As soon as Yajnatva, as soon as we understand Bhagavad Gita, what happens? We get clarity about our human life. What is the goal of human life? What is the purpose of human life? What is the duty I need to do? What is the responsibility I need to discharge in this world? In midst of all confusions the society has created, you will have clarity. This is guaranteed. In the midst of all the confusions the society has created, you will have clarity because you are reading Bhagavad Gita. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatasiddhaye. Out of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, only one or two picks Bhagavad Gita. This is guaranteed because everyone are running after futile enjoyments. This is the nature of this world. Just like the bee, if you see, if there is a light, what do you call those bees are? Fireflies. Yeah, fireflies. Firefly, even though it would have seen his uncle, auntie, brothers, sisters, everyone are dying, just getting attracted to the light and going and hammering against the light and dying. But still, it goes to that light and it gets attracted and it dies. The weakness, but the human beings have given the opportunity to understand we should not unnecessarily fall into the trap of this, the trap of so-called futile enjoyments. So we need to come out of it. The only possibility with which you can come out of it is reading Bhagavad Gita. For example, if your parents cook a nice pani puri for you, will you go to the pani puri shop next to the gutter where he is picking the loads of gutter water and putting it in the pani puri and serving it to all of you? I don't think so. If your mother picks up fresh peas, she soaks, the moong dal and, sprouts it, steams it, and makes a fresh pani puri for all of you. Would you go to the street eating all this garbage, frustrated person, emitting all kinds of nonsense into the pani puri dabba and serving? I don't think so. Similarly, when Krishna has the place which is much more opulent than the place which we have today, and he gives the education so that living in this place also we can become auspicious, would we go back to the same gutter? People do not understand they are in the gutter because just like the pig, even if you give samosa, it will go back to the gutter. Habituated. That is why we need to गीता सुगीत कर्तव्य किम अन्ये शास्त्र विस्तरै मलिने मोचनम पुंसाम जल स्नानम दिने दिने सकृत गीतामृतम स्नानम samsara malanashanam. Sripad Shankaracharya says, just like you take bath every day, Indians take bath every day, but Westerners take once in fortnight. But Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine. Every day we take bath. Sakrit Gitamritam snanam. Little bit of one shloka if you read every day and take bath. Samsara malanashanam. All the gutter-like mentalities of world will just disappear in moments of time. And again we need to read next day, because it's not that today's Gita will help tomorrow. Because of this dull mind, even it will forget tomorrow also. You need to keep on remembering, you need to keep on introspecting. That is Krishna conscious all about. So Krishna is here telling kim karma, kim akarmeti. Karma and akarma, very, very important for us to understand. What is karma? What is akarma? So, kim karma, kim akarmeti kavayo api atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. I will give you the science of karma today, the science of action today, with which you will be able to become auspicious and liberate yourself from the bondage of the fruits of karma. So we all have myths in our mind. What is the spirituality is all about? Some people think that spirituality means go beg from house to house. 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupees. And spirituality is for a person who is failed in his life. That is the tag people have given. Either spirituality is for a failed candidate or a retired candidate. Someone has done everything, मौज मस्ती लिया, सबके पीछे गया, सबको एंजॉय किया, बाद में कुछ नहीं हो सकता सेंस पर. इतना सेंस बिगड़ गया है, उसको थोड़ा अभी भगवत गीता he will read. Now nothing can be done. Is completely a retarded, Gujri kind of a person. Now Bhagavad Gita. Now you read Bhagavad Gita. If a young person takes up, oh, he might be a failure. कुछ तो हुआ है उसका लाइफ में. अगर लड़की चली गई है या तो कुछ he has failed in his exams or he has failed in his endeavors. People concoct about spirituality. Spirituality requires soberness, determination. Spirituality is not for Tom, Dick and Harry. You need guts to take up spirituality. Again, I am telling you, please don't get mistaken with all sorts of spiritual markets India is displaying today. It is the confusion. It's the confusion, chaos. I'm not getting into there. People are using spirituality for politics, attracting politicians, 50-50 partnerships. I'm not talking about all kinds of spirituality at all. They are not spiritualities. They are just a self-centered agendas. That's all. So, when spirituality means spirituality is for people who have the ability to understand purpose of human life. When those kind of people who are eager to understand purpose of human life, they need to be very, very careful about what kind of activity they are going to do in this world. For example, if you join a company, if you want to be successful in the company, you are going to understand what the work is all about. How carefully I can discharge my duties in the company in such a way that I become recognized, I become promoted. Otherwise, you will sit in the restaurant or a chai wala shop in the campus and keep on spending time drinking chais every half an hour, 1 hour, doing moj masti. You will be kicked out one day. But a student, a sincere student, will try to understand what is the purpose of me in the campus where I have been hired. Similarly, we have been hired in this campus, not hired, we are thrown. So now we need to understand what is the purpose of human life. The purpose, again, we have to do the activities. We have to work. We cannot sit idle. Nothing comes in front of us if we sit idle. What kind of activities we need to do? That is very, very important for us to understand. Shall I just sit, aram se, armchair, everything comes to me? Nothing comes to us. So practically we need to discharge our duties. This is the world where it is a literally battle for survival. So what kind of activities I need to do determines what kind of person I am. So spirituality, some people say, don't mean spirituality means no working. Don't even turn your left side, right side. Stay straight. That is absolutely a nonsense understanding of spirituality. Spirituality means Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means Arjuna. Arjuna means one who was most competent. He was running away from the discharge of the duty, and Krishna empowered him with the knowledge, ensured Arjuna gets up and fights. This is spirituality. So, kim akarma, kim karmeti. What is karma and akarma is all about? Akarma is, we will move into the next verse to understand. So, Krishna is saying, even an intelligent person gets bewildered. What is karma and what is akarma? A blind understanding of karma and akarma is work or don't work. People are getting into this, misunderstanding what is karma, akarma. Many translate Bhagavad Gita verses that don't do work. Akarma means disengaging from all the material activities. What is material activities? Everything belongs to Krishna only. It is we need to actually make one thing as material or spiritual. If we combine matter with Krishna, it becomes spiritual. If you pull matter away from Krishna, it becomes material. If we pull matter away from Krishna, we suffer. We use matter along with Krishna, we become blissful. This is all about Krishna consciousness. Prapanchikaya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunah. Intelligent people understand that everything belongs to Hari. Very important for us to understand how to utilize things of this world with Krishna. Because if we utilize separately from Krishna, the only thing what we get is duality. Duality means success and failure, happiness and suffering. Yeah? So, we actually, spiritual akarma is mistakenly understood as don't work, no work. Akarma means no work, karma means work. So, this misconception, we are going to actually burst it in next verses. Yeah? So, I am going to quickly run through this so that I have given. So, extremist viewpoint of akarma and karma. One becomes spiritual, thinks that, oh no, get away from everything, stay away from material objects, don't even touch it. Misunderstandings, extremist view. And another person thinks, everything in this world, just enjoy. From morning to evening, just chant the mantras of enjoyment. Everything is for my enjoyment. That is the today's, Brinda, did you switch up the gas? So today, people think that everything what we see is for my enjoyment. That is an extremist mentality. That's why so much of rape and all those violences are taking place, because we think that everything what is in front of me is for my enjoyment, it is being designed for me. No, not everything is being designed for you. You have a portion. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Little bit, whatever in the insignificant part of this creation, it is been allotted to you. Very insignificant part, not everything belongs to you. You cannot go hug everything, that, oh, this is for me. No. In the restaurant, if you go and start eating everyone's plate, you'll be kicked out. Eat what is there given in the plate, and you can only eat according to your capacity in your pocket. What you order comes to the table, you eat that. If you go, oh wow, he has got Manchurians or yeah, whatever it is. So you cannot just go and just take away the plate the other person has ordered. He'll be kicked out. We are only capable of eating what comes to our table, and that too comes to our table पुक्कड़ से नहीं आता है, पैसा देना पड़ता है. So what you have in your pocket, order it. Don't look at the other tables. So enjoy, don't care about anything. This is another extremist mentality. So akarma, some people think that stay away from everything. Don't even touch it. Because everything in this world is dangerous. Both extremist understanding is not going to help us in our progress, in our advancement. Yeah? Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmanah akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Very, very important topics, very, very important verses defining karma. Intricacies of actions are very, very hard to understand. From where, today someone came, accidentally took his hand and slapped on my face. From where it came, absolutely I don't know. How it came, I don't know. I'm just giving you a gross incidents. But we get beaten up every day. We don't know from where it comes. Intricacies of actions and reactions are impossible to understand, so complex. Krishna is telling. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Karma, vikarma, akarma. Very, very important for us to understand. Karma also means sakarma also. Sakarma, karma is, vikarma is abominable activities which will be punished in this world. You might escape from this local government, killing animals, okay, fantastic. No one cares about local government, only considers punishment for human killing. That too, some royal people get away from that also. But universal government also has eyes open all the time. You might get escape from the local government, you will not be escaped from the universal government. So vikarma, all the abominable activities we do, we get punished either in local government when we are alive, or in universal government while we are alive, after our life also, next life, whatever. Akarma is where you perform the activities, you get the results, but you will not even get the reactions for it. What a way to lead a life of akarma. Akarma is not no work. Akarma is work with no reactions. We will discuss about this. What is karma is all about? Today you did something, some activities you did that goes through a roller coaster ride. snowballing effect, and one day it will come back to you and hit you. That is karma is all about. Karma means problems. Please understand this. Karma means problems. Because anything you do in this world, it gives problems. Anyone who has, anyone who have endeavored in this world without problems? Prabhuji, so many devotees are here in front of me also. Can you all answer? Any endeavor in this world where it has not become a problem? You have to go through problems and challenges in this world. We need to solve. When we endeavor, we get into hurdles, challenges. Those are all problems. Root cause of all those problems. What is the root cause? On the holistic level, we are here. That's why. You are electrical engineer, computer engineering. All those things is a tag because you are in this world. Those are all not solutions. Those are all problems. Birth, death, old age and disease. This is the basic source of all the problems we face. So activity, endeavor means we are passing through problems and challenges. There are two ways of looking at it. Challenges which can positively mold us to become a more serious devotee of Krishna, mold us to develop good character, good integrity, good values in our life. Or negatively, if you take the problems, you will be swept away. Just today, I heard one family in Bangalore committed suicide. 5 people hanged themselves just on a discussion that whether, that's what we, till today, that's what within 24 hours the news has come. Just because whether the nose prick has to be done for the child who is a 8 months child or not. There was a big discussion and the fight happened and everyone hanged themselves. Just for a 8-month-old child, whether she needs a nose prick for the culture. The boy side says, nose prick is abominable for my God. The girl side, nose prick is auspicious for my God. What is God? God is only one. Both of them need to be beaten left, right and center with Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Because of horrible ignorance, people are going through all kinds of abominable things. And another boy, 16-year-old boy, 3 o'clock, he came out of the house with a gun, shooted himself in the road. Why these are all happening? Because people are completely lost their understanding of what is the purpose of human life. So we need to understand that our life is very, 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 very rare. Human birth, we don't get it life after life. Very, very rare. There might be 130 crore people today, but don't think that because of population, human life is not rare. Human life is rare. We have an opportunity to elevate ourselves. That can be only possible if we carefully pick what kind of work I need to do in this world. So that's why intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. One should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, what is inaction. Inaction is akarma, forbidden action is vikarma, and action is karma. So as it is intricacies, it's extremely difficult to understand. Yeah. So what is karma, vikarma and akarma is all about? As soon as we come into our life, we open our bag of karma. Karma means fire. Everything is going to burn us. So while I am speaking, please look at the images. Otherwise you will not be able to relate. So what is karma? What is the definition of karma? Pious activities. These are all prescribed, just like we discussed about that. Doctor gives the prescription for a patient who has a disease. Similarly, the Creator gives the prescription for us who have chosen this world. That's why it is called prescribed activities. As soon as we come to this world, doctor will say, Creator is the doctor. Creator will say, these are the activities you are supposed to do. Hence, these are called prescribed activities. Karma is prescribed activities. Doctor giving medicines to a patient based upon his disease is called prescribed medicine. Yeah? Vikarma is the people doctor gives medicine to the patient. Patient says, what kind of doctor is? Why should I take medicine? He is telling, don't eat this, don't eat that. I'm not going to do that, my disease will go away. I will eat anything what I want. They don't even look at the prescription. Similarly, people in this world, though the Bhagavad Gita is given, though the Vedic knowledge is being given, people don't even care about it, do all kinds of abominable activities. They get immediate reactions, forbidden actions. If some actions are forbidden in this world also, which local government also considers forbidden, they pull them to the prison. But some of the other activities, even local governments, you get out of the eyes of the local government, but you will get cash in the universal government. So you need to, when we say forbidden activities, don't look at with the purview of local government, look at the purview of universal government. Yeah? So sinful activities is vikarma. As soon as you perform sinful activities, we will be punished. Akarma is all spiritual activities. Yeah? Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhosi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kuru madarpanam. This is akarma. Krishna gives many verses in Bhagavad Gita telling you how to perform your activities while you eat, yet you don't get reactions. For example, even if you eat dal, rice, you will kill so many insects. That's why Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Pravechati. You give me whatever you cook, you offer it to me. Yat karoshi yadashnasi. Whatever you eat, tat kuru madarpanam. Do it as an offering to me. And he also says he has his own diet. So you have to, if you want to become akarmic, where you don't want to get into the reactions, you need to adapt to the diet of Krishna. Not your own diet. Give butter to Krishna and have butter chicken for yourself. That is not akarma. Might be butter chicken might get elevated. You will be hellish. Because butter is on the chicken, because the association of butter which is offered to Krishna and it goes on the chicken will get elevated. And you will be, next time, chicken Manchurian for someone else. So credit, karma, what is the credit I am going to get by doing karma? I am responsible for the reactions. In karma, whatever you do, punya, you are responsible. In vikarma also, you need to take responsibility for all the abominable activities you have done. In akarma, Lord takes up responsibility for you. That's why Krishna is saying, fight. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mama anuspara yuddhacha. Lord takes the responsibility. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Lord takes the responsibility when you work for Krishna. That's why very important for us to Bhagavad Gita means working for Krishna, how to work for Krishna. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So, whatever in this life, karma means earn karmic reactions, enjoy. Go to the heavenly planet, enjoy and come back. Vikarma also, do all abominable activities, suffer. But akarma is you Krishnaize each and every activities. Yat karoshi, yadashtasi, yad juoshi, yad dadati, yad tapashyasi, kaunteya, tat kuru madarpanam. Ultimate result of work has no karmic reactions. You are breaking the cycle of birth and death because you are offering everything to Krishna. It is a science. That's why very, very important for us to understand how to utilize all the materials that is available in nature in the service of Krishna. You can lead a happy life. Krishna conscious life is not a life of, don't get into that kind of mindset that it is too much difficult. It is not. If you are making, palak paneer, make it. Don't eat yourself, taste it, offer it to Krishna. Think that you are cooking for Krishna, offer it to Krishna, and then have palak paneer with roti. By doing that, you are coming out of sinful reactions during cooking as well. Palak has so many insects. Entire production of that food has some karmic reactions. Everything, similarly, everything you can make it to Krishna conscious. Everything you can make it to Krishna conscious. That is the art that we can learn from Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So, you cannot concoct yourself that these are the activities I am going to do because Dharmam tu Sakshad Bhagavat Pranitam. Krishna is the creator of what activities we need to do. You cannot decide yourself. Just like I was telling my wife, you cannot decide myself that I am going to do whatever, I am going to throw whatever spices I want, whatever masalas I want, however, everything, and cooking will come all right. No, you need to put masalas, everything in a proper way, as regulated by the person who has cooked and experienced. Krishna has cooked his entire creation. Krishna knows the recipe. Krishna gives the ingredients for you. What you need to put, how much you need to put, how much chili you need to put, how much hing you need to put, how much coconut you need to put, how much salt you need to put, how much sugar you need to put, or jaggery you need to put. Then everything will be nice. You cannot concoct that I will put whatever I want. So, in order to make our activities auspicious, we need to follow the creator who is the cook himself. Yeah? Navai vidur rushayo napi devaha. These activities are not created by intelligent people, Rishis or demigods. It is created by Krishna. Krishna has given you, these are the activities you need to do. Nasiddha mukhya asura manushya. No one can concoct what is our duties. Only Krishna can actually tell us what is our duty. Some people who are dadiwalas come, I will tell you. Because Krishna became enlightened in Govardhan Hill. I also, Chamundi Hill I went. I may not have gone to Govardhan Hill, but I went to Chamundi Hill. Chamundi Hill I was standing. I was having dadi. Krishna doesn't have any dadis. Krishna never becomes old. No grey hairs. Krishna decides what is the age when I stop growing. Dadiwala say, Krishna was coming from the Govardhan Hill, people started bowing down. That time he thought he is enlightened. What is this nonsense about? Where did you hear all this from? I went to Chamundi Hill, I became enlightened. I spent through hours and hours, which went through like a second. But when I came out, I was completely different person all about. Wow, degree takes 25 years to pass. One Chamundi Hill ticket, you come down, you are a, you are a guru. What is all this nonsense about? That's why Indian spiritual market has become so cheap that youngsters are seeing this not at all palatable. Not at all palatable. Why? There is absolutely no science in it. They will only concoct their science. I am not speaking through using my intelligence. I am using what is given by Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. That is authentic. That is the disciplic succession. Yeah? कर्मण्य अकर्म यः पश्चेद अकर्माणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु सयुक्त कृष्ण कर्म कृत. Very important verse. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men. I request all of you, open Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you don't have Bhagavad Gita as it is, please get one copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Can someone put their number in the chat so that if anyone who doesn't have Bhagavad Gita as it is, please get one copy. You need to read this line 100 times to understand, because I also read around 100 times when I read first time Bhagavad Gita. I absolutely not able to understand. Karmani akarma yah pashyet. Akarmani cha karma yah. What is this? One who sees inaction in action, action in inaction. He is the intelligent among men. And he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. What is that? One who sees action in inaction, inaction in action. So, people have this misunderstanding. Spirituality is no action, don't do anything. But if you don't do anything also, your mind will be thinking and you will get it done through your agencies. Just one eye connect, all your agencies will come and do the work for you. So even though your body might be inactive, your mind will be working all the time. It is a factory, always active. One who sees karmanya akarma yah pashyet. Akarmani cha karma yaha. So let us understand these two. What is right? What is Krishna conscious line, which is not Krishna conscious line? Yeah? Inaction in action. Action we need to do everyone in this world need to do action. No one can get away from not doing action. So what is important for us? Though I do in action, I should not get the reaction. This is inaction in action. Though I do everything, I should not get reaction. For example, if an army man kills a human being who is trespassing your borderline, he shoots. He will not be arrested. He will be glorified in the government. He will get a chakra. What is that? Yeah? Ashok chakra. Paramveer chakra. But if an ordinary man goes, whimsically shoots, he will be arrested and put in the Tihar jail. So inaction in action. Why the other person got Paramveer chakra? Because he did it under the direction of the government. So when you do the work under the direction of the Supreme Lord Krishna, all your activities becomes in action. Because Krishna has given you the list of activities you need to do. You will only do that activities. You will not do other activities. When you do only those activities and you do it with love for Krishna, as an offering to Krishna, though you might have killed many insects while boiling rice, you will not get reactions. Though you might have killed many insects while making not palak paneer. Brinjal. What is brinjal? Stuffed brinjal. Eggplant. When you are cooking brinjal, right, you need to be very careful. You cannot just put the brinjal into the fire and just whole brinjal into the fire because there will be worms. You need to ensure that you cut and see if there is no worm, then only you use it. If you are making brinjal sabji, you would have cut and killed many insects, and you would have thrown. Don't put the insect filled brinjal into the hotel walas do it and you eat it. That is your karma, but don't do it at home. Throw it away. Only brinjals which doesn't have insects, use it. So while cooking vegetarian also, you have to undergo many reactions. But inaction, because you do it for Krishna, because you pick only those brinjals which are not infected and offer it, cook and offer it with freshly. Everything is fresh. Not 30-year-old, the same fried oil that you fried urad papad in it. Don't use it. So fresh oil, everything fresh ghee. So when you offer it to Krishna, that is guaranteed that everything you use fresh. Then inaction, then it becomes inaction. The same eating becomes inaction. See, wonderful science the Bhagavad Gita is teaching. So you might do many activities. But if you do every activities in the service of Krishna, you are acting, but it becomes inaction. You get lot of devotional credits by doing it. You will enjoy your you will enjoy your punya, whatever you accumulate. Whatever the papa you have got, it disappears in no time. And it becomes like a ocean converting into a small pond that is filled with a half print of a cow, baby cow leg. The calf print, how much water the calf print has? Insignificant. We can cross over. So much of anarthas will get washed away. You will get only little bit of residues. So this is inaction in action. What we should do? Action in action or inaction in action? Inaction in action. Now, let us understand what is action in inaction. This action in action party is a PhD guy. He will only think, okay, I will not do this, I will not do this. Whole day he will be thinking, speculating, this work is not for me. But I need it. I need chicken Manchurian, but I will not do it. I will keep on thinking about it. One of my disciples will bring. If one of my disciples will bring, he would have killed the chicken. Oh, I will eat it. You know, I am a beggar. Whatever they get, I will eat. So these kind of too intelligent people, too much intelligent. I am not elaborating who are those people. I don't want to get into those. I am just giving you. Action in inaction. People think that I am not going to work. My agencies will get it for me. This kind of armchair philosophers, their mind will be thinking about always chicken Manchurian, chicken Manchurian, chicken Manchurian, chicken Manchurian. Always. And someone needs to get it for them. And some people will say, why you are growing tulsi? Grow, vegetables in it. Grow, harvest chickens there. What is harm in it? All kinds of concocted philosophies have come in our spiritual market of India. Anything you can eat. I am a beggar. Someone comes and gives me to love chicken, I will eat it. Krishna himself has not told. Krishna told, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. He didn't say Andan chicken mutton toyam. He didn't say that. Krishna is specifically mentioning his diet. Who are you? You want chicken. That's why you are just, putting all the blame on your disciples. So this kind of people, they are all their hairs are everywhere. PhD people. And they think that they will be able to conquer this world and get out of this world without getting reactions by their own whimsical thoughts. It is not possible. So this kind of people are all action in inaction. Because these people will get more punishment, because when a judge does mistake, Pune will not get punishment. Pune will get one month prison. Judge will get 1 lifetime prison. Because judge is more, having superior position than the Pune. So action in inaction, if someone understands inaction in action, action in action, he is able to, although he is engaged in all sorts of activities, he is in transcendental position, Krishna is saying. Please understand this. So, in action, I have elaborated this. For world, you may be an ordinary karmi, but if you are Krishna conscious, then every work you do devotionally surcharge you. It will surcharge you to free yourself from the cycle of birth and death. Action in inaction. People think they will be able to pick what I should do work, what I should not do. They will not hear Bhagavad Gita. For them, Bhagavad Gita is a burden on their head. They will read comic for increasing their vocabulary, but they will not read Bhagavad Gita. So for them, action in inaction. For world, you may look like a detached yogi. Sometimes, you might act that you are drinking poison from snake, whatever it is. Or you might sit on the top hill of Himalayas. So you might look like a Dadiwala detached yogi, but mind is a super busy factory. And he is getting his work executed through agencies. He is going to get karmas. Yeah? Yasya sarve samarambha karma sankalpa varjitah jnanagni dugdha karmanam tam aho panditam buddha jnanagni dagdha karmanam. If you burn your every actions you do with fire of knowledge, jnanagni dagdha karmanam, tam aho panditam buddha, he is called pandita. One who is able to pick the activities with the fire of his knowledge, not his own concocted knowledge, a knowledge which is derived from Bhagavad Gita through proper disciplic succession. Yasya sarve samarambha. You had to do all kinds of endeavors to do a little activity of also yasya sarve samarambha. You need to endeavor. Karma sankalpa, you need to take sankalpa, determination. If you need to pass examination, you need to sankalpa, determination. But kama sankalpa varjitaha, if kama sankalpa, I am going to do this, and because this is going to give me fruits for enjoyment. This kind of thinking about a work for my own selfish, sensual enjoyment is not going to help me. I need to climb into the ladder and earn more money. Why you need more money? So that my neighbor has a Skoda car, a BMW car, and he uploads varieties of wines and whiskies in his car backyard and goes to Coorg. So I also need to get that much money so that I can also upload all varieties of whiskies and Skodas, whatever it is, into my car, and I can also go to Coorg. This is all nonsense. Kama sankalpa varjitaha. Whenever you do work, you need to understand this work. If I get some good results, I will use it for Krishna. I will utilize it for the service of community. I will educate the community with Krishna. Knowledge of Krishna. That is the akarma. Yeah? One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages, to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned by the fire of perfect knowledge. Nanagni Dagda Karma. Yeah? Very, very important for us to understand. So we will end this. So, as I said, every work you have two choices: pleasure for Krishna or pleasure for your senses. When we understand this, sankalpa, we need to make a sankalpa. Kama sankalpa varjitaha. The right side is your fulfill my desire, which is I am showing in the image. Kama sankalpa, you need to understand Krishna sankalpa or Kama sankalpa. Krishna sankalpa is akarma. Kama sankalpa is karma and vikarma. Yeah? Actually, these are very, very complex set of verses which have lot of hidden meanings. But you know, these verses requires lot of diving into it, introspection. So my request to all of you is burn yourself. Jnanagni Dagda Karmana. Burn yourself. Don't, I'm saying literally, don't put the Bhagavad Gita on fire and dive into it. I'm not saying that. Jnanagni Dagda Karmanam. Read the verses of Bhagavad Gita. Let it, knowledge is like a fire. Why it is called fire? It can burn all your sin. Jnanagni Dagda Karmanam. Read Bhagavad Gita, enrich your mind with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and discriminate what kind of work you need to do, what kind of work you should not do. With that intelligence, pick the work and progress in your life. Hare Krishna.